Nick Walker said, I'm going to 100% win against Derek Lansford. I think.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with the physique update from Derek Lansford. And for the record, this was taken at about 5 weeks out from this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro. And no wonder why Chris Azito said that the competition that's going up against Derek at this show, they are in big trouble. Because the man looks absolutely insane and freakish for 5 weeks out. And he's being very smart with that training volume as well, considering the fact that how lean he looks right now. So Derek's impression at the Olympia last year wasn't very good, even in the back shots. I know he did win the back double biceps against all the guys, like Samson Dauda and Hadi Chopin. But the audience out there was under the impression that both these guys, they have closed that gap in the back department against Derek. But what we saw at this past Arnold, the way Derek's back was just popping like crazy, and it was so goddamn detailed. People once again started talking that Samson Dauda needs to bring up his back. He needs to improve in his back shots if he wants to successfully defend his Olympia title this year. Now, coming back to this year's Pittsburgh Pro, Derek had the perfect response towards Nick Walker regarding the statement that Nick Walker has made that he's gonna beat everyone at this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro.
Look, I know Nick, and Nick likes to talk a big game, and I think it's great, you know. I think it's great for the sport that he brings that type of excitement, but at the end of the day, like I said, I'm only focused on me, and that's...
Well, I think we can all agree truth of the matter is that if Derek just focuses on his own show and he shows up as good as he did for this past Arnold, he's gonna 100% walk away with the win at the first ever Pittsburgh Pro, and also that $100,000 paycheck. Now Derek seems to be 100% confident in Chris Azito making the right calls on when is the time to drop the hammer and go absolutely balls to the walls until it's showtime.
Oh shoot, my coach doesn't have a plan for me? But I think that's what makes him such a good coach, is that he literally just lets the body lead and he makes adjustments as needed. And I think that's what a good coach should do.
And if Derek looks this good at 5 weeks out, he would have changed a lot till this point, as today we are under 20 days out. So Derek must be looking so much better than this. Now it's very hard to duplicate the same peak, a peak that was 100% right, the way it was at this past Arnold for Derek. But this is a totally unique year for Derek. Will he get better as he diets longer and do more shows? Well, we will find out soon enough. Guys, we have a limited time offer. If you buy any flavor of Bloodshot, you are gonna get a free Dying Breed t-shirt. The discount code is on the screen right now, and use the code FAZI10 to get 10% extra discount. Next up, we have an update from the Conqueror William Bonac, and with that update, he made another major announcement. That is gonna be really bad news for some guys who were planning to go there and maybe get their Olympia qualification at the New York Pro after this year's Pittsburgh Pro, as William Bonac just announced that he's gonna be doing the New York Pro as well. So Bonac has done 2 shows already in this calendar year, and the man delivered one of his all-time best performances, one of his best physiques ever at this past Detroit Pro. And I'm gonna say honestly, with the way Andrew jacked, he left the door open at FIBA Germany, especially at the prejudging. If William Bonac did that show, he probably would have beaten Andrew jacked. Now to think that the front relaxed is one of the weakest shots for William Bonac, because he never had a small waistline, and to look this good at the age of 42, and the man is just about to turn 43 next month. That is just bonkers. His front relaxed right now in this update. That looks super impressive. And that's mainly because of his quads, because they are looking absolutely full blown right now. And I have got to say, this is so unprecedented in the bodybuilding history that a pro bodybuilder, he lost his legs the way William Bonac did a few years back, and then he brought them back, and that too up to a point where they are looking even better from the front and from the side. If you compare them to his 2019 Olympia look, where William Bonac plays runner-up. So if Bonac peaks the way he did for this past Detroit Pro, for this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro as well, he's for surely gonna be pushing that top 4 at this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro. Well, we have Good Vito, Michael Crizo, who are also gonna be fighting for that 4th spot. And what does William Bonac's announcement mean for a guy like Regan Grimes, who was making his comeback at this upcoming New York Pro. Next up, we have a physique update from Ping Yunlong. So it's the third year. All of us are waiting for him to make his men's open bodybuilding debut. In a few comments under his recent post, they pointed out that he's competing in July this year. So first of all, hopefully that is true. And more importantly, I am really looking forward to see the improvements Ping has made, especially in his back, because that was just miles behind in the overall development if we compare that to his front shots back when he was competing in the 212 back in 2022. So this guy became such a huge sensation after winning Thailand Pro 3 years back because he had that awesome conditioning. And what makes some of these guys from that region, from China I mean, so freaking good, that is their quad sweep. I mean, just take a look at those legs when he was posing for Chris Cormier just a few weeks out of the Olympia back in 2022. I'm gonna say insane. And not only does Ping has those insane sweeping quads, but he also had that unbelievably small waistline that made his flow totally invincible from the front. Now Ping could have been a huge force, even in the 212, if he had some room to get bigger and maybe made those necessary improvements in his back while staying in the 212. But unfortunately, that just wasn't the case. He was very flat, and he lost all of his wow factor trying to make that weight cutoff for the 212. Now Ping looked absolutely massive at various points during this very long offseason. But it is all gonna come down to how his back looks. And can he match that to his front? Because the fact is, if a pro bodybuilder, he has such a discrepancy between his front and his back, there can be only two possible reasons. One of them, and most likely, very poor genetics in that particular muscle group. And secondly, not being able to make that mind-muscle connection, especially in the back workouts. And believe it or not, some pros do not know how to do that properly, especially in the current times. So Tonio got criticized for his distended midsection in one of the physique updates that he posted just a couple of days back. Now this one right here, that should also get a lot of appreciation by the fans, because this shows how Tonio conducts himself on the stage. Very good control of his midsection at all times, and superb overall abs development. Now this might be a response to all the people who said that he has ruined his midsection trying to get bigger, when in reality, that just isn't the case. He just wasn't controlling his midsection in that previous update. Now his back shots always looked absolutely bonkers. He's very complete from the back, top to bottom, but this time he has added more density and maturity in those areas as well. And those two back shots, they are gonna be the money shots for Tonio. So he was the first one to announce that he's gonna make his comeback at this upcoming Legion Sports. So since Tonio transitioned from the 212 into the men's open, this is the very first time Tonio decided to skip the Olympia and focus on building up more muscle and have a proper off-season. Now his body got that much-needed break, and the man was able to hit his all-time heaviest off-season weight despite having that motorbike accident. Now let's just wait and see how much of that translates on the stage. And just for the record, this is a top 8 Olympian we are talking about. One of the top 212 Olympians, Angel Calderon, just announced that he's gonna be doing this upcoming New York Pro, and that is happening in 4 weeks' time. Now it was quite surprising that Angel decided to compete in the middle of the year, as he was in the top 3 at the Olympia last year, and he got the automatic Olympia qualification anyway. But then again, there is a change in the mindset of many of these pros out there. They wanna compete more often, and Angel is someone who stays very sharp all year round. Now if you guys remember, he did the same show last year as well, but in the men's open. But those guys in the open class, they are just way too big for majority of these guys in the 212. Unless of course you have the genetic gifts of a guy like Keon Pearson or Derek or Hadi Choban. Now you can absolutely guarantee that Angel is gonna be so damn ripped and peeled to the bone for this upcoming New York Pro. It has always been the case with Angel, whether it's the Olympia or any other show. He always comes in super peeled, and the man did win an open pro show a couple of years back. But there was no real competition at that show. Now I have no idea what the mindset of a guy like Angel would be, where there is a genetic phenomena running the 212 class. If anything, those other top guys, they can just hope that Keon Pearson misses his peak, and that too big time at the Olympia. Or he just switches over to the men's open bodybuilding sooner rather than later. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.